Meeting called to order. My name is Leslie Lopez, and I'm chair of Tech and Comms. Oh, oh, we're gonna move forward with the agenda since there's no members present.
Ready?
Okay. So I made an agenda really quickly this morning, and I wanted to start off with old business. I don't know where you and Sanji left off with the OTI business of the website.
Mhm.
Like I do know, but then I got lost.
Sure. So my understanding that most of the things that could be changed, Chair, was already done according to the website. What she asked for, I can review what her request. Oh, I think you were part of the emails, right?
I don't know if I was on that chain. From what I know is that Sanji had bought the domain or something like that.
Did she?
I think so. I think someone gave her money to buy the
Or
domain.
they told her no. Well, they did, but I think they told her it was not a good idea because we cannot guarantee security.
Yeah, it was something like that. But I think where we left off was that we were going to, or I think it was something about that we were going to have two different websites if we did it a certain way, but then we decided to stick to the one that we have because OTI does the updates pretty quickly and stuff like that. But I just want to confirm, or maybe we can
revisit it.
Yeah, revisit that.
Sure, I can review it. I can put up Tim. I can put the email that came from OTI that kind of went into detail about that issue.
So
and
if I may,
able to do it. Yeah.
I do remember how it went down.
Okay.
So Sanji, the former chair, did buy the domain. So when she had the domain, she had just inquired what that would look like in terms of OTI support, and they basically said, we will help set up your frame for the website, but after that, all your updates are on you guys. Whatever happens to the website, if it collapses or whatever, or it just crashes, we can't fix that. We can't do anything. We just help set up the framework and you take it from there. So Sanji had, and again, they had specified that the maintenance will be all on us. Like anything we want to post, anything we want to make changes to the framework, like OTI basically said, like, we'll start you guys up, but after that, the show is on you. You carry it forward. So after a few meetings, Sanji had determined that it would be just easier if OTI would just, if we would continue the same route that we were with the current website that we have now, with OTI just providing us with most of the support and us just submitting things to them to post at our behalf. Again, we could, because it's just because like literally because in her mind, when she thought of having the domain, she thought that OTI would provide more support, but they basically said no. We will help you start up the framework of the website, but everything you want to post, everything you want to add, any tabs, any stuff like that, that's on you. That you have to have your own website designer and stuff like that to keep the maintenance. And speaking to staff, we had said that we can take up the workload, but it just might be just a lot. It just might be too much, especially with how transparent we're trying to be at the board and how much we're posting. So Sanji had determined that it's just easier for us to continue posting using OTI's just framework and just having them constantly update and provide maintenance for us on that behalf.
Okay, thank you, Steven. But we do own the domain.
Yes.
Now, the real question would be, I guess, Anthony, to follow with OTI, maybe we can be in a chain with our contact with OTI so that I can just email them too.
And say, hey, I'm
now the chair.
So introduction, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, a reintroduction would be great, because I guess my question would be like, do we let that domain die or just have it in the back of our pockets, or I mean, I guess the decision that Sanji made was the right one, because I don't think any of us have the capacity to obtain a website like that. I have my own website, and I don't even know if I updated in the last year. So I think that was the right move from our former chair. But how are other community boards doing it? Because when you log into like when I type in like community board 1 in Manhattan, it looks insane. Like their website is nice. Like do they have more capacity?
They may have hired a consultant to
to do that.
to do their website design and do everything else.
And also, they might just utilize interns as well, like specifically get a website graphic designer person intern, and then just they have them maintain.
And then, but like, can we ask OTI like, hey, like, how are Manhattan community boards doing it? Where like, okay, they use intern, whatever, but did they accept like, okay, we're stepping away from the mainframe and now we're updating it on our own? Is that
So
a bad question?
we both have that capacity. I'm not sure what Sanji's capacity was in understanding how to be able to. So she does have web design experience or stuff. So I don't know if she felt she had the capacity, given the committee at the time, that between you and then at the time as the vice chair and myself to be able to manage all the social medias and the website.
No, that's impossible.
It's impossible, right?
Yeah.
And I think you were in the interim of also saying you were going to join the public library system. So your capacity would have definitely been decreased over the period.
I'm fine with OTR now, like with what we have. I just want to maybe like know how other boards do. Like have they stepped away from having OTI helping them and supporting them?
I think they have. I think it's dual. You also so you can do dual access where you have sign-on capabilities and go in and be able to do it. But if you have that capacity to understand to do that, I have very limited to no design experience.
I don't think I want to have that capacity.
Right. And then if we did that, we tried with having a social media intern. I think that the people we got was not conducive to the skill set that Sanji was looking for to even consider bringing that person to the committee.
Okay. So, okay. I guess my question would just be like, maybe asking around the chairs, like I know there was an idea thrown around at the exec meeting that I couldn't be at, where they were like, oh, we should be updating our website with like presentations that people bring to the board and stuff like that. But does that come with the responsibility of like, oh, hey, developer from a building that presents as a CB1, do you give us permission to put this in the public domain?
So it is public information once it comes to the community.
Right.
Anything is public information. The general public can review it.
Right.
And everything else. We can upload anything to it as an addition to the minutes that we put together, or a separate link as a presentation. But if folks want more information, we have just been only semi verbatim speaking to the presentations, but not providing the actual presentations that we've been getting. We can definitely discuss more if that's something you want to move forward, at least add the presentations as a point of reference to the minutes and that to each of the committees. And that's something we could definitely do. If that's something that this committee.
I think it would be important for things like for example, when St. Mary's came to present to us to talk about what's taking so damn long with the rec center and all that stuff, like that presentation could be useful for like, I don't know, as reference for anyone else who like wants to dig in deeper.
Or for board members who want to see those presentations before the board meetings, before waiting to see for the first time.
Right.
It's something that we can.
Or even when I know that applications are opening for board members, like if anyone wants to do some research of what we've talked about it within the year, you know, like, oh, here's this presentation that was really important to us. And like, like we don't have to put every development that comes through or like every restaurant that wants a liquor license, right? So like, I think like major, like I know ACS was here, that might be a really good one. Our letter of City of Yes should definitely be posted on our website. I know Delorney's working on that street vendor letter that I think would be really good to show that CB1 supports street vendors in our district, you know, with the little comments here and there, which is great. So that's good. That's our OTI business. I think we can move on from that. Okay. So other old business thing that I want to revive that Sanji had started was the Link NYC displays. I know we were only successful that one time, and it had a picture of Brooklyn, and it had the wrong time. It was something else that was wrong. It was like the picture of Brooklyn, and then something else was wrong.
I actually did wrong community board, but I mean, there's the picture of the borough. I know that was. I'm not sure of anything else.
Yeah. Well, I wanna bring that back.
The kiosk.
But yeah, but the only thing about that is that I know the calendar moves a lot, especially now that we don't have an office and yada yada yada. So I was thinking even if we just have our general boards up there, like for the time being while we figure out our office stuff, and calendars and scheduling, that we can revive that. And I don't know what that process looked like on Sanji's side.
Sure. So I will share with you the link. You have to fill out a form or fill out the form electronically for each meeting. So I did it it was actually for multiple months that we had it on. And remember, we have 13 to 14 committees.
Right.
And so you have to do one for each committee. That was the task we took onto ourselves. So if that's something you want to do, I can share the link and we can split the cost of work and see if we have the ability to. I'm not sure of the longevity because first of all, at the beginning we heard no, and then after you go push, you heard yes, and then we had the link, and then we had to go in and I did some, and then she did the jargon.
Okay. But I think we don't have to do every committee, at least for now, like at least for January or February, just because of scheduling. Because for the past, I don't know, like I want to say like 4 months, I've gotten a different different calendar each time. Like we get revisions on, what gets moved and all that stuff. But we now know that general board meetings are always going to be here,
For the next 3 months, it is, yeah.
yeah, for the next 3 months. So I think just putting that up as a test run to see if they don't put Brooklyn on there, to have our general board meetings on the link NYC, because I think that was successful. And maybe we can ask them to put up a QR code for like our website, I think, or something at least. So that way people know where to find us, Like people call like, hey, is your meeting still going on today?
Sure.
Yeah.
For more information, kind of like QR code.
Yeah. So that way people can call us and be like, yeah, our meeting is still going on. Or, oh, this got canceled or whatever. So that's awesome.
So can we follow up with you? What do you want to follow up with you by? When you the deadline for me?
I would love.
Hmm.
Pulling on my calendar. I would love to be introduced to the OTI person, maybe by the end of this week, start of next week.
Sure.
Okay, great. So that's between the 17th and the 20th. And then, and same thing for the link NYC to get a link
That's fair.
to
Sure.
fill it up and see if they actually do it. And
Okay.
okay, great. That's all I had for old business. Oh, actually, I lied. There's one more point, social media. As we know, I'm the only person with social media login credentials. And so that has been interesting. I just don't know. I don't know how long I can just be the only person. So I would have to recruit some members or public members to come and join the dark side and help me out with this task, because it is a lot. Instagram, I'm kind of successfully putting on their stuff slowly. Twitter, same thing. Facebook, nothing at all, because Sanji had it connected to her personal in order to make it a business, and now that it's disconnected, I'm like, oh snap, like what are the steps to do that? I have to look into that. I've been procrastinating on that. But that can get fixed within like the next 2 weeks. But I don't know if that means that I have to connect my personal Facebook as well. I don't know how
So
Facebook
as
works.
you become the new owner of the business.
Yeah, something like that.
So it cannot be a business officially registered. Is that what the rules are?
I think that's what the rules are. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I can ask Sanji, but well, one, I don't know if I'll get an answer, but two, I can just Google it. Because I think that's what it is that you have to have a personal account to connect to the business one. Um, and I guess that also, well, newsletters and new business. Am I going too fast?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and then new business, we can move on. Newsletter. It's been interesting. I don't have any members sending me anything. That's a lie. Ramona sent me some stuff. Josephine sent me some stuff that all got published. I think Delorne's gonna send me some stuff from the Mexican Coalition. I'm putting in some library stuff. And I want to bring back the business spotlight because I thought that was successful, like the boba and stuff, where like I got to talk to the owner and she really loved that. And then she subscribed, so that was nice. Um, but in terms of getting members to send me things, like what do I do? I was thinking of buying a poster board and wearing it with a QR code so everyone could just send me things to the next general board meeting. But I don't know if that's crazy.
I mean,
But I also went to art school, so I don't know.
Yeah. So anything is, almost anything can go, right? The
Yeah,
rules
yeah.
are limited. I think that we ambitious and being bold is not a bad thing. I think with the means, and you make the decision on what gets posted, right? And so,
I mean, whatever people send me, I post.
right. Whether it's advertisement or whatever,
Yeah.
I just think that you have the rules about advertising and everything else, and what the social media rules are. So long as you control the output, which I appreciate with you about making sure that social media was ethical, and so that being said, I think that that this would be some that we can the things we hear about a lot of. I know there's a flyer section in the Google account.
Yeah.
So as we learn new things to fly, we got the interns, and hopefully if we get back in there quick enough, we got the interns send you some flyers that we get, flyers to the community board.
How proactive are these interns, and where are they from? Who are these people?
So we have two sets of interns. First of all, we have a bulk of college interns that come from any of our community or private higher education institutions of the district. It's somewhere from Fordham, Metropolitan, Bolinqua. Hunter, I think we had in the past.
NYU, Hunter, Columbia, yeah.
And then we have this other program that we work with young people from the Department of Education. That's kind of that we get young kids from that came from the international high school that had young people who second generation Americans that were need work experience while they're working on another English. They have a dual language education setting, and so they're.
Can I translate my stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we had 3 students, and their first language is Spanish.
Oh, snap!
And then we had to. It was to help them with their English. Some of them are prefer to speak Spanish, but then they were encouraged to be in a work setting that was a mostly English only work setting to help them to learn English language pretty fast. It's like a requirement where you're in school and learning English language, you're required to read the paper every day, front to back, to the best of your understanding.
Yeah, yeah.
And so they were very good, and Stephen worked very closely with them to credit to him for leading the way with getting them to work to help bring our office up to snuff before the flood to update our record keeping system. Also, we have had we use Handshake as an outlook to get students engaged in about, like I said, from Bolinqua, from community, from Hunter, from others. But this great policy analyst type like person that's gonna help to that helps us look at our community benefit agreements and so on. So some have a very basic, depending on the college or high school, a basic understanding of the officer. But some have a very high like policy buff type like stuff and ability to work in the office. And Stephen manages them to assign work plan that either Google public so that we pump stuff in that we want them to complete, tasks we need them to complete, or the direct one-on-one oral communication to say these are things we're working on. We have tried to be successful in using having an intern for each committee that's going to
Has that
likely
been
be that
hard?
person. That has been hard
Mhm.
now, especially since we've been out of the office. It's been
Right.
hard. So it's going to sit there and kick off right away. Interns, as we understand, only last a certain period of time. We also have interns from Good Shepherds, um, the nonprofit social service agency that gives us kids from Stevenson, and I believe there's one other high school.
Like a few other high schools, like
high
2 or 3 high
that
schools
work
that
with it.
primarily they do night school. So what they
Right.
do is they work for us in the morning from like 9 to 2, 10 to 3. They do about 4 to 5
So
hours.
it's stacked with
And
interns.
If we wanted it to be,
if you want it to be,
yes,
it's
yes.
just it's been a challenge because
Like, are they proactive or?
I mean a lot of them just know baseline clerical work, or they're it's an opportunity for them just to learn beginning work skills and stuff like that, like how to answer phones, like beginning like clerical stuff. Like so with these DOE funded programs that we've been using, they're mainly high school students, so they don't have a lot of work experience. So I try to utilize them and try to teach them more so how just working on their etiquette, like how to answer phones, how to make copies, just clerical work. And
Yeah.
we use a portal called Handshake from a profession. That's where we get the higher education, like college students that come
Yeah.
from Columbia Hunter, because Handshake is essentially like a job posting,
Mhm.
but for internships. So they do the posting for us. Luckily, it's just like a free version. So, but they still reach out to all the schools. So, like I said, we've gotten hits from Columbia, NYU. Like currently, one of our interns is from NYU, working on our affordable housing aspect and stuff like that. And
That's
then,
cool.
yeah. So again, it's been a struggle also because I get. I think one semester I only got like 4 resumes. And, uh, I interviewed all four. Two only weren't interested. Just because they're interested. Once they hear about the job, and what we do,
Right. There's
sometimes
not
the
like that.
interest isn't there, or they go, "Oh, we
Yeah.
thought you were something else," and then they just don't come back, or they just decline. And then I had another semester where I had no applicants, so I had to repost and stuff like that. So
Right.
it's a hit or miss. I
If we
think,
could get a writer, that'd be great.
yeah. So we at the office, we're just currently just refining the formula and seeing what works and what doesn't work. So I'm hoping that at least by the next fiscal year, we'll have like definitely a set. If I can get at least 10 interns that are all dedicated to at least one committee, then I'll be happy. If I can't reach all 14 committees, but at least if I can get more than half of the committees to dedicate themselves to helping the committee chairs of that specific committee with that, whatever plans the committee might
That
have.
fixes our translating problem.
What so it can and it
Or like
can,
more
can.
like I can do it, but I just need like second eyes on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Like,
always
hey,
good
is
to
this
recognize
wrong? Is this
look at
right
it,
or wrong?
Because
Yeah.
we have our own bad habits and
Yeah.
right. And we are also working. Well, that leads to my written translation, and so
Right, like things like when I had to do the office one, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is right or not.
and you've been speaking Spanish all most of your life,
and I was
right?
like, I don't know. I was like, I
I
have
speak
no
it
idea.
well, but I don't know writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be great to have second eyes, or even like if anyone's interested in like when I was like applying to work in galleries, they asked for 2 pieces of writing, and I had asked like a friend who was like into that. I was like, what do you mean work samples? They were like, oh, have you written for a newsletter? Like you can submit that. So if anyone who's interested in like I don't know, like resume add-ons, like writing samples, that would be great.
Mhm.
And,
Maybe they
and,
can.
and we're working to hopefully hire a new team member very soon that's going to work as a
Really?
associate. So we found a couple of coins to hire somebody to be able to hire someone, and the goal is to hire someone that has the ability to
Oh my god, I
translate.
should have hired me. Okay.
Well, I don't think we're paying you enough. If I tell you the salary, you're probably like this. Oh no, forget it. Thank you.
All in all, I'm looking forward to having our third person and completing our team, because historically boards have been with either 2 staff members or 3 staff members. I've been part of a board that's always been 3 staffers. So
I've also heard of boards of news staffers, and I'm like, wow, I'm jealous. Okay, that's great. I mean, if any of them want to contribute to looking at my translations, want to write a poem for the newsletter,
I mean, that's
whatever
an
they
idea.
want,
Maybe some
whatever they
writing
want.
stuff about.
Yeah, they want to write like a restaurant review.
That's a good idea. Means
Yeah.
of expression about some voices of the young people, something like a
Yeah,
section
like
in the
something
newsletter.
fun.
Right.
It could be a review on anything, Third Avenue, whatever, Lincoln Hospital.
In their own words.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want to thank you for your work on the newsletter. I know it's been very, very jarring where you ask for something and then it's like crickets. So I get it. So I definitely commend your insistence, and I look forward to you coming up with creative ideas on how to beef up the newsletter and how to gain traction with that.
I was like, well, Ramona told me this one thing. Do it. Yeah. So thank you guys. I'm trying my best. I want to bring back the business spotlight. I want to do member spotlight because I feel like a lot of people don't know. Not that people don't know what community board is. I feel like people are opening up, especially for like. I mean, like, I feel like we're one of the.
Would you mind posting the calendar in the newsletter too? As another way to.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, but the last one I put a revised sticker on it.
Okay.
Because I didn't know.
Got it.
Yeah, but they usually have like February's gonna have hearts or something. Yeah.
Okay.
You're one of those.
Yeah, I am one of those. Well, because Clarissa gave me Canva.
So season
Why not use it?
seasonal every month. It's gonna be some kind of a green one in October and for St. Patrick's Day and okay, that's amazing.
I would love to like actually take the time to learn like how to like because I would love that. Like I would love because I mainly create the calendars, so I would love to add that component of like a seasonal thing to like, oh, it's February, it's Valentine's Day, I'm gonna make it a Valentine's like calendar, or St. Patty's for March, like stuff like that, or Easter for April.
Right.
I just never give myself enough time. Like I literally can just only do the calendar, make sure that the dates all line up and everybody has like what are the agenda is for that month. So like my knowledge is very limited, but I am interested in at least expanding that knowledge so that way I can make our calendars a little bit more.
For sure. Do you make them on
Adobe Acrobat?
Adobe?
Yeah. There's a program that I found that I'm a big template geek. So
you're like, this one works.
This one, here, use it, instead of reading the bill. Sometimes you have to just pump the dates in, and sometimes it gives you the whole thing out.
Yeah.
You have to be tedious and take the time to go.
Yes, because me making calendars quarterly, it takes like if I'm uninterrupted, it gives me I could do it in a whole day, maybe in a half.
Like, this is wrong.
But if I get like other assignments come up, stuff like that, like it takes me a good like 4 to 5 days. Like it takes me a whole week just to get quarterly calendars out. So
it's like people don't understand how long it takes to do minutes because even though they're not verbatim, it does. You have to sometimes because we're using technology and it's not an exact science.
Yeah.
And so you want to even with that you don't want to include. Even though it's something that's not said, it's just the system says it differently than it.
So if I interrupt Mr. Jordan right now, it will pick up as a fourth person. Yeah. It will. So the Otter AI would automatically pick up 2 voices speaking at the same time as a fourth. It will converge their voices together and add it as like a fourth person's in the room.
And this is why we're telling some of our chairs who are looking for minutes for the previous meeting because of what happened with. The office is not likely. It'll take us a long. If something you need immediately is something that's not likely will come up. That we have immediately because Steven's system was a system that was compromised. His desktop computers, which houses the auto system, was compromised during the flood. It was one of the few systems that were on the floor, and so it's also I'm glad we have this YouTube so people can reflect back to extremely accurate. Conversations at
sometimes I watch them on 2x speed and you guys sound really funny on it.
You watch it on 2x speed?
Like,
because it has to speed it up though.
You speed it up
to be accurate.
Because I'm crazy. Yeah.
I don't know what you say, but okay.
Like if you watch it and everyone's just talking really fast.
Really?
Yeah.
And you understand?
Sometimes. Not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what did they say? And then I go back.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can do that. That's a skill. Um, on more newsletter, I mean, I wanna make that statement of like people need to send me stuff. Um, this is not on my agenda, but we should release a newsletter. Cesar brought up this idea of doing these volunteer cleanups for Earth Day, and I'm glad that he's being proactive and like letting me know now so that we can start planning it.
Kind of save the dates and account inside the newsletter.
Yes, and he wants me to create like a form where like people can register and we can like have like, oh, Jimmy Lopez wants to
Can you
sign
do
up for
hyperlinks
this.
in the newsletter?
I can, but what I wanted to ask whether maybe this is a Steven task or you, Anthony, whether you guys can make the Google form on the CB1 Google and then I can post it.
And it points people back to like an email at the community board office
Yeah.
versus it being
Like on
something you gotta keep seeing to look up all the time.
Yeah, because that's something that like, yeah, sure, I'm positive. I'm like, I support the environmental fight here in the Bronx, but I like during March I'm gonna be gone for a little bit, and I just don't know if I can be like, oh, here's Cesar, here's a list of people who signed up for
I'm
your
not
cleanup.
sure, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think the Google Docs has to be directed to somebody's Gmail and
Yeah.
not to a community board.
Yeah,
Um,
but if something
email
like
address.
yeah, so but if the community board can create, or you guys who have access to it can create the Google form that links to the CB1 email, then it kind of solves that problem.
Yeah, sure. So I'm
Okay.
happy to look up the how we can.
I can
get
show you
that.
how to do
Yeah,
that.
Sure.
Yeah. They're quick and easy, and I think
our tablets could be able to have that capacity, right? Yeah, sure.
So you just want to create like a sign up sheet
sign-up
for
sheet.
for Cesar Yock's cleanup days. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
It's English and Spanish, and it's name, address, and contact information.
yeah, like
That's
something
it.
super simple.
Super simple.
Okay.
And then we can provide the dates. I can connect with him.
And I think it's shirt size.
I don't know if they're shirts.
You want people to wear a shirt. Yeah.
He
okay.
wants
That's the thing.
clean up green court
Coat
shorts
shirt.
Oh,
That's his.
because he wants something
Sure.
differentiate.
If you have a room or a break in your head. Yeah.
So
Oh,
let's
you mean your com shirt? You mean for your
Yeah.
so Les, if you can just send me the how to, just send it to me
Okay.
and I can work on it tomorrow.
Okay,
If you create if you host more press conferences and you standing up while we doing press conferences, and you could be like, so the press to come to you for quotes or press releases, or get a person in the room saying, okay, New York Times, Daily News, we can get your shirt.
Yeah, I could get a shirt that says press on it.
I'm sorry. Can we also do
That's
that?
a good idea.
Can we utilize the Google like sign up form also to help the education youth and young adults with looking for businesses to sign up for the job fair? Can we use that as their way to contact?
You part of the app? I mean, the WhatsApp.
Did Clarissa already make that?
No, so it's separate. So
Oh, okay.
education youth had their WhatsApp. That's the way they work their
I got a bone
stuff
to
out.
pick with them too.
So that's their
Hey, youth and education people.
They work out their
This
planning.
is for you. What's the time frame?
April 5th is the plan.
Oh, for the
job fair.
Oh, the job fair. That's great. That's fantastic.
That's what I was thinking. If they, I don't know if they've already created. I gotta ask
Yeah.
the chairperson, Mr.
Because
Baldwin.
if everything's filtered through Google, usually what Google Forms does is that, like, I used to do this on my Instagram. Like, I would have people sign up for a Google form to help me look at their resumes, and like Google will send you an email and be like, "Oh, so and so submitted this," and then you get to see
alerts you.
Yeah, it alerts you, and then the only problem with that is that it does take up space, which is why I can't do it because I'm at capacity with space and I have to figure that out. But it keeps you organized in the sense that you can like, make a label and then be like, oh, this is for Cesar's thing and this is for the youth and committee thing. And then you can ask the Google form to submit pictures and PDFs and all that stuff. So if you guys need like, I don't know, IDs for something, for security, or I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there.
Okay.
So that would be great because then I can, and also because Google Forms kind of goes with us, you can just send me those links and I can pop those into the newsletter, being like, hey, do you want to be part of our career fair? Let us know what you do, and blah blah blah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and then I can make those clickable.
I guess we could look at get on. You're not on the things. Did you have who do you speak to? Either Stephanie or Zion? Not often.
No, Stephanie, sometimes on Instagram. My only bone to pick with them, and this is for you education people, is that they, I mean, this might be a biased thing to say because I work with NYPL, but they need to start using the NYPL. Like, in the sense that, like, they have game nights already. They have a game system already. They have PlayStations, they have Switches.
What's the latest NYPL stays open?
I don't know about Mott Haven, but mine stays open till 7. Every library is different.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, you mean for the Saturdays that they do it? The event. And I think does it have to be a quiet environment when they're doing?
No, because they usually do it in like a separate
upstairs room.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
So you could hold a room to do an event.
Yeah, like my library has a PlayStation and they have a gaming hour.
I'm sure the kids would be upset we come in here on Saturday and take it over as a game night for us. Like,
well, it'd be great to talk to the managers to see how to navigate those things. You know,
I made that a note for DSC tomorrow. Is talk to the managers about space in the Mott Haven or Woodstock libraries even.
Yeah, because they have all the resources that they already spent so much money on.
Right. And we supported them heavily for libraries to have increased funding for.
That's how I have a job.
Word.
Yeah, word. Thank you. And then I do want to do member spotlight, but are the members open to that?
So I think you should just tell Carissa to choose someone, or you to say, hey, you've been here a period of time, and we want to recognize. So that you have Josephine Byrne, who's been on the board for a period of time. Recently or you have Brenda Goodwin, who's been on the board for 30 plus years. You have people who will love, I'm sure, to give you a headshot and talk to you about it. I think Josephine Burns, Stephen was honored recently by the state from aging, right?
Yes.
Oh, really?
If I can look, she was selected as a
honoree.
Yeah. But I believe she declined it.
She declined. Okay, and I believe that, and then she's very modest. Like she doesn't want to.
Well, it wasn't. It's also because like they didn't provide. So the ceremony is being held in Albany, and they didn't even provide like transportation for her. So she's like, I wish I can go. I can't make my way to Albany. You know, under these circumstances, like I just.
No, that's fair.
And so there's a lot of people with skill set. I mean, Sanji had a number of years in communications, and activism. You know, everybody has a lot of work that they can be recognized as.
Right, we have like the principal.
Right, you have you who did a lot of work and who love art, and I think the emphasis about understanding about how art is now becoming a really interesting medium now that people are starting to focus on. Like I just got an email today. I think that's you should have in your inbox. That there's going to be Cultures of Trade wants to do another committee meeting because there is another art installation that's happening here at Lincoln.
Really?
They need my permission to
I did see a grant application for that.
And so that's happening, and then following up on what's happening at Horizon. So whatever we can share or get them to share about how that process is working. Art is an extremely important economic development engine, but also a means of expression for so many people. And I did not know until later in my life that this area, Mott Haven especially, has so many artists that are hidden around, sprinkled in the.
There's a ton of studios
in here, right? And right around the corner from the Mott Haven Library is some artists, and I think that we are one of few boroughs do not have. Don't use a waterfront. We're the last to get a children's art museum, and we don't have enough art institutions or.
I know we just lost the gallery in Hostos, which is
Right, I don't. How did that happen?
I think it's so Bronx Council of the Arts had an art gallery there. They're based in Tremont, but they had the Longwood Gallery for I think 10 years.
I thought it was longer, but yeah.
Yeah, and it was like right next to the swimming pool.
Yeah.
But they lost it because I think Hostos wants to change it into like a science thing. So now they've moved back to Tremont, which they're still calling the Longwood Art Gallery, but I don't know I think they're shopping for a new space. Bronx Arts Factory is on Morris and 153rd. They have a gallery space. And then I know around the corner from the Mount Haven Library, that's Blanca's space. And then we also have the Enfoco space, I think like on 138 or something.
Right, and the Foco used to be inside the Andrew Freeman home for a
Yeah.
long time, and so we have all these beautiful spaces that
I know it's popping off. I just signed up for the Brio Award. I'm like,
yeah.
give me some
Now
money.
we have small institutions. We have the Bronx Council of the Arts. We have the Bronx River Arts Center. We have City Maria and the Bronx Children's Museum. We have these spaces that are that we know that Cultural Affairs is the first, one of the first agencies to be cut during budget cuts. Libraries, cultural institutions,
Right.
these poor cultural institutions that are not even called. I'm sorry, the name is leaving me about what what do you get this when you have the city pay for the space, the bills for the cultural institution. The Bronx Zoo is one of them, but anyhow. Cultural institutions that arts cultural institutions that allow you to survive. It's hard.
Yeah, we can share more of those stuff on our social media for sure. Especially a lot of the BCA grants and stuff. Like people don't know that you can just apply and see if you can get some money out of these people, which is cool because it's right. Well, it used to be right next door, but it's here. I was gonna bring up the fact that I need new members.
Yay!
I do. I need new members.
So you out there?
So you out there, please join my committee because it's just me and Anthony and Steven and their staff.
And we need you to be able to help us tell the stories of our community.
Yeah, please write for our newsletter. Oh, and this is something, so the next point I wanted to bring up in youth business is voting 2025. I know this is a huge election year for the city. I've been dreaming of this year since, anyways. But
You're safe.
I'm safe. Or since I was in office.
4 years ago. What's happening?
4 years ago.
Yeah, there we go.
Before I was a member. And me and Delorny are working on, we're brainstorming on what to do, like the steps that we want to take to use our platforms to make sure that people go out there and vote. I know it's really early to do that, but primaries are right around the corner. So I feel like this is the best way to do it. We want to start off first with ranked choice voting. But I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if that looks like a video of us being like, this is how it works. I don't know how many members want to be involved in that. Yeah.
So the Board of Elections is tentatively scheduled to appear at the Policy and Legislation Committee
for
January.
And
when is that?
That is this Thursday.
And
I'm awake, guys.
So and we can ask. They have a video that speaks to ranked choice voting, and we asked them to give us some social media friendly stuff, but we know sometimes we have to also help to simplify that because ranked choice voting was difficult. Getting people to vote, in my opinion,
it's the hardest thing.
It was difficult enough.
Yeah.
Versus now adding another thing, ranked choice voting for some folks feels that it became a more I don't want to say complicated, but a more taskful opportunity, and some people have been felt that it does not speak enough to their reality of them just having one vote and making it count towards who are the popular candidate they're voting for, either wins or loses. So the thing I say with this is that it is important to explain those things. So ranked choice voting, to me, my education, my limited common sense with the education that it was confusing and again
It is very confusing, yeah.
and so it was but it for some reason it came up. I'm not understanding whether it's permanent or whatever. So I just have that conversation. Most community boards do that too on their website. They have videos that help explain stuff. I think that it's great that we are trying to excite a voting
Yeah.
block. And I know that we are, as long as we stay in as nonpartisan,
Right.
through our public training or our public meetings, then that is a perfect opportunity to get people to be educated in those instances.
Okay.
So yes, I think that we could ask the board, or we could ask the learning to ask the board of elections what trainings or what videos do they have that we can share on in a way that we can watch, or either share on a website or a platform to help people to be more.
That's a good idea.
Because ranked choice voting is or the second to the vote period is important. So yes, this Thursday at 6 o'clock here at the Lincoln Hospital, comes from 6. We will be hosting
Board of
the
Election.
New York City Board of Elections.
I have a
Bronx
bone to pick
office.
with them too, but I'll save that for Thursday. Okay, great. That's awesome. Because I feel like, yeah, I mean, the Bronx is never voting enough, so we need to excite the people.
We need to
But it's also a great way for
register them also too.
register them and have people, like, I always have that link on our newsletter no matter what, because I think every day is a good day to register to vote. And so it'd be great to like be part of the voter education in our district, because there's not a lot. On the new business, I think this is my last note. I promised Josephine that my first order of business in 2025 was to land a date for the 311 presentation.
Mhm.
This was before the flood of the office. So what does that look like now? Like, is that something like I know we can use this space tentatively, but like, I know we have other meetings going on. Like I can't just say, oh, tomorrow, because there's another meeting probably tomorrow. So, like, can we do it in the morning sometime? Can we use this space on the weekend? Like, what does that look like for the 311?
Thank you to the leadership of Lincoln Medical Mental Health Center Agency for allowing the community board to be able to be your partner in making sure that we have a healthier district, but also that we have a space in term of us of working that our office rehab. So this place, the CEO is extremely community minded and focused. And as much as space is made is available at any given time, her team, Cheryl Simmons-Oliver, who leads our public affairs division here at the hospital, has opened this space up to be along with Christine Coutures and Natasha Berg, who's the chief of staff. It allowed the space to be open. So they have 6 conference rooms and one very large auditorium that that's all the time ready, willing, able, long free. And we just have to we have been successful to either get a moment's notice or either or get long notice as possible, because they just need to be aware of who's coming, what's happening. So in case there's security issues, they can be able to make sure that they have hospital police responding to emergencies or medical personnel responding to emergencies.
Right.
What's going on. So yes, to answer your question, as long as we send an email and fill out the necessary documents, we will. The hospital has been very welcoming.
I'm looking at my work schedule.
Yeah, because you sometimes you overcommit yourself, right?
Overcommitting myself. Yeah.
But we recommend that but first of all, the community board has been, we are doing 311 complaints for those who come to the office who don't have 311 complaints, but also we are all also on our work phones, we're all armed with the 311 app. That's important. So use the app as much as possible.
Which is why we want to, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. Maybe the week of February 17th. But ideally, I mean, I am not the 301 expert, even though I use it religiously because I'm on the board. Um, is there a chance we can ask someone from 301 to come and support this presentation? Or is that, what do you think about that?
So 311 is managed through the Office of OTI Technology and
Oh,
Integration
snap.
Technology. So they manage it, and
Uh-huh.
so we'll put that ask out so to see what they
Okay.
availability. But I know that either them or there are some other agencies that help with doing 301 presentations. February calendar for the week of one more time.
February 17th?
So week of the 17th, President's Day is on that Monday. Then there's Health and Human Services, Environmental Justice, Pilot Legislation, and Immigration. So it's a full week, except for the Saturday. There's a full week of, and I don't know whether or not we have the city come out. I'm not sure that they'll be
Do it
available
Saturday.
Saturday for training.
Okay.
I'm not aware of it, but you know what? Never hurts to,
Yeah, can we put a pin on that week and then I will triple make sure with work.
Wait, you want to do that one more time? So
The week of the 17th, she's looking at a Saturday 22nd, if that's if it's
Or a
available
weekday.
or weekday.
Yeah,
Likely
because-
OTI early morning presentation.
Yeah.
because so the calendar I have is we have tomorrow,
Wednesday?
Tuesday's license. So
Yeah,
for the
February.
week, she's on February.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, my
That's okay.
bad.
We want him to stop you from making a point. Though.
No. So you're correct then. If that's February, then you're correct. I thought you were talking about
But that's the
January.
week of President's Day, right?
Monday.
Well, Martin Luther King is this
No.
month, and then
Okay.
February is
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna triple make sure that this is doable because I could do a weekday, or, I mean, I don't want to do a Saturday just because I don't like that will limit my chances of OTI coming out. But also if one of you two can tell Josephine if that works for her and her
Because we
committee.
could also likely
You know?
do, or maybe her committee, or we can likely, depending on what are our constraints or not of the space that we are typically going to be in.
Yeah.
In February, then there may be some space to do those type of events. We don't know yet if
Right.
what they're providing for us at our
At the
3030
Mhm.
Third Avenue.
Okay, great. Yeah, I would like to do it at that point of time, just to get it over with and see how it goes.
So 9 to 5 in that window.
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
In that week, in that window, and then ask Miss Josephine if that works out for her.
Sure.
Because she's the one who's asking.
She has, so I'm sure she cannot do it on her committee day because she already has tentatively working to host MTA town hall about as provider.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Yeah,
That was quick, and I didn't.
So we the
Oh.
meeting's adjourned.
The meeting is adjourned, and there's no member. So,
All right.
thanks you two.
Thanks, Chair.